Hi everybody, welcome once again to another Low on Health daily video blog thingy. Greetings from very still cold Florida. Once again, maybe it's just not that cold to some, but it's been kind of just a cold couple of days for me. And man, it's just kind of really tempting to turn my heat on that much. I'm keeping the house out at like 58 to 60, just kind of variable. And using basically a heated blanket for the bed. That's kind of my main thing since I only really operate out of one room now. There's no point in me heating the whole house. I have most of the vents closed off. But just want to move on to a couple quick things here. Let's go ahead and just start with this. I want to mention this Control Alt Delete, which sometimes has good comics, sometimes it doesn't. This one's just kind of funny because it basically addresses the controls for heavy rain, which I talked about earlier. I mean, this is kind of what you see basically when you talk to somebody. They'll give you two different options. You're not really sure which one will do what when you first play it, so sometimes you might end up doing things you don't mean to do because they're kind of vague and whatnot. But I think what's really cool about this whole thing is I like that basically knowing not what you're going to do or implying what you're going to do and then doing something else. I mean, I think that's what's going to be interesting in the game, where you're going to think you're doing one thing and you end up, maybe not doing exactly what you wanted to do, which is sometimes how real life works. But yes, some could argue, well, that's just, poor controls. They should basically give you a chance to basically know exactly what you're going to do. But I like the clean interface. I like being able just to kind of guess and look around and try and wait and do different things. And once again, I think this game's going to be really kind of touted as something you're going to play through definitely more than once, so you can get used to doing perfect runs or doing runs of just specifically doing this or that and trying out every single different combination to see what does and doesn't work. But I just thought this was basically a really fun comic, basically, admitting that some of the things are just rather vague. Moving on, the X10 event, which was a day or so ago, which basically Xbox Live saying it's going to be their biggest year in Xbox 360 gaming history, which I'm really going to have to go against them on that because they're saying they have exclusives, this or that, and the other thing. I mean, really, after 2007 was probably really kind of the best year for Xbox 360, that was with BioShock and everything else. And granted, some other games come out too, but the 360, I don't really think this year is going to do it. And some of the things that they tout, which is like, they're saying that something. Here you go. Here are the games. Halo Reach. Like, we really need another Halo game. I mean, they keep doing it, so yawn on that front, if you ask me. Alan Wake, which basically I'm feeling is going to be kind of a Silent Hill-ish, but not as creepy. Kind of a nice, like, thriller thing. That might be really good. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Crackdown 2, of course, I know a bunch of us are looking forward to, and they say it's going to come out this year, but I'm going to wait to see it because it probably won't happen. Same thing with Dead Rising. They're saying it's going to come out this year. Well, let's see what happens. I'll admit it when that comes out. Call of Duty Warfare. Apparently, there's going to be a content pack soon, and that's going to hit the 360 first. Which, once again, if it hits the 360 first, that means it's going to come out on other systems later. And real quick to address Modern Warfare 2, I actually did start playing it again today. I finally got somebody to help me try out something real quick about basically doing one-on-one matches with people on your friends list. Something I wanted to do since the beginning of the game, but nobody's been kind of up for it because it's kind of cheap. But it does work, basically, doing a one-on-one with somebody in your friends list, doing a ranked match. That way we can easily focus on like the Full Metal Jacket kills or headshots or getting kill streaks. Like, it's very interesting. It's something I'm going to really look forward to now. It makes me want to play the game normally if I know I can, supplement that and actually work on leveling up my character, which is sad, but whatever. Also here, Tom Clancy, don't really care about Splinter Cell. Final Fantasy 13, I guess that's big. It's probably going to be like, I'm not going to say the best RPG. It's not going to be the best RPG for this system. I still kind of almost think Oblivion is for the 360. But, kudos to them, but it's also coming to the PS3, so I really wouldn't count that as, woo. Fable 3, don't even get me started about Fable 3. Lost Planet 2, a lot of sequels, but that's just how the world works. But I mean, like I've mentioned before, do we really need a Lost Planet 2? Left 4 Dead, yeah, do we really need more content? And then Toy Soldiers, never heard of. The Game Room for Xbox Live Arcade, which is I hear of a joke because you can't really use your old already arcade games in it. It costs more money if you want it on both. It's just going to be a mess and nobody's going to bother with it. Perfect Dark, don't really care. Scrap Metal, never heard of. So I just don't, they're saying like not since the console's launch have they had a higher, hotter lineup, and I don't know. I mean, last year's lineup was actually not that bad with Dragon Age and everything and Modern Warfare. So I don't know where they're touting like this year's gonna be the best year for 360. And they also mentioned too Natal, which you know, a lot of these things I have a feeling are just gonna get pushed. That's just how they always happen. It's like, oh, it's gonna be out for fall and then winter and then boom, it's next year. But I just wanted to kind of wrap that X10 thing that happened recently. Moving on, Gamefly, they did ship me Africa, which apparently didn't get really strong reviews. But this is kind of like the Pokemon Snap of Africa, which basically has a partnership with National Geographic. So it tends to have really good lifelike, animals and whatnot. And I'm kind of interested in playing Africa. I have been for a while. And I'm surprised they actually shipped me that as opposed to Darksiders, since Darksiders was medium and this was low. But, that's just how Gamefly works. No big deal. So hopefully I'll be getting that, Monday, Tuesday, and playing through that, and letting you guys know what I think about it. I am really looking forward to it. I do kind of like just the easy, laid-back games where you kind of relax and just do stuff. Hoping really to see how, like, the ponds and the waters and the lakes, to see if they have that in Africa. I do like waterfowl, particularly, like doing them, and just ducks particular, all types of ducks. I've always been, like, a big fan of since the old days. And, of course, Alien versus Predators, and then Heavy Rain. I also want to mention today I did a lot of watching stuff, and one of the movies I watched was actually finally got around to watching Fight Club, which I know is a really old movie, but I finally just kind of got to watching it, and I knew about the twist prior to watching it. Like, I knew about Fight Club, I knew all the mythos prior to watching this, so knowing the twist kind of let me see it from a different angle, where most people would go watch it from a second time just to kind of go, oh, that's right. I kind of was able to do it the first run through, and yeah, I really liked Fight Club. I mean, it's a really good kind of, piece of just kind of, I'm not going to say satire, but a nice philosophical piece of just contemporary world and how we all think of each other and how we all kind of just conform and whatnot. And it's a really good film, and I can see why it's just really, really super popular, and the acting's freaking great in it. Moving on here, I also watched, this movie's kind of up for some Oscars, I think, Hurt Locker, which is really just about like a bomb squad team in like Iraq. Now, usually I hate these types of movies. I really hate movies where it's uber suspenseful. This has a lot of like, ooh, do I cut this wire or that wire? A lot of just like in anything like taking place in contemporary our time, like especially in this like Modern Warfare stuff. I usually hate because they make it like a hoorah piece, like this is the greatest thing ever, but it sometimes has pitfalls and everybody should be in the army. I really hate that. And of course, I'm probably referencing Jarhead, which I haven't seen, and some other films like Black Hawk Down and stuff. But this isn't like a dramatization. This is kind of almost like a slice of life type thing. There's no overarching conspiracy. There's no general doing this. There's no big like leader trying to take over that. But it's just basically a bomb squad, and they're basically tour of duty. What I really found interesting in this is because this is something that would bother me if I was over there. Like constantly when people, the patrols are on the street, they have civilians watching them constantly, and you don't really know who's the bad guy or who's an insurgent. I mean, granted, we're on their territory, so who's to say? But it's just, I would find it super mega unnerving knowing that basically everybody's watching me when you're trying to work on the bomb squad or just kind of move through a street, and you don't know who's reporting to who or who's going to take you out. And I do kind of have to give some credit to the Army about that, because I couldn't do that, and that'd be really unnerving to deal with that kind of just kind of stress and everybody looking at you. But I do have to recommend, I really enjoyed the movie, despite that, and despite like having suspenseful moments where usually I kind of cringe and don't really watch them. It's really a good movie, and I recommend anybody, if just like movies or like kind of Modern Warfare or any type of Army thing, it's a really good movie. I mean, it might not be as action-filled for some, but it's a nice, just kind of slice-of-life movie, and I kind of like that. Doesn't get all too the family, doesn't get all too against this or against that, and I really enjoyed it. Other than that, I'd like to thank you guys all for watching as normal. I've kind of had a weird night because I'm really throwing my whole biological clock off because I just got hungry around like 2 a.m. and decided to go to McDonald's because they're open 24/7 and got me some food, and I'll probably be up till 7 or 8, so my whole day tomorrow is going to be really off. That was funny when one bomb became 6. Really watch this movie. It's really good. Like I said, thank you guys for watching again, and I'll catch you next time.